Hey guys, Ellie here from Enlightened Nutrition. I wanted to talk to you today about my experience. I feel silly, but I'm going to tell you my story. Um, so everything happened with the stay-at-home order, and so I thought, well, this is a prime opportunity to get on track with things. I was feeling a little bit like my weight was creeping up, just with stress going on. I mean, I know, and I teach this all the time, it's normal for weight to go up and down within a certain range, but I was feeling a little stressed by it. So I figured, well, this was before we knew things were extended. I've got a solid 3 weeks to really buckle down. So I decided to track everything with MyFitnessPal. Well, I know that it never works out, but I thought it'll be different this time. Like, I fell for all the classic traps that my clients and people that I talk with fall into. And I preach, don't fall into the traps, don't do it, don't do it. Well, I did it myself. So this just shows you how relatable our team is to you, because we fall for the same stuff that you guys do. We fall for the diet culture, we fall for the pressures, we fall for the stress, we fall for it all. We're just like you. We're not perfect. The only difference is that we have education, we have a license, and we can help you. But we're very much relatable. We understand the struggles. So I'm telling you my story so you can relate, and we can all learn together how let's not fall for the trap again, right? So I started MyFitnessPal and I was tracking everything. I should have kept a day-by-day vlog, but I didn't. So let's see, day 1, 2, 3, at least 5 solid days. I felt super confident. I was tracking everything as best I could. It's really hard to track things that are like more homemade and not packaged, that you can't get a label on. So as best I could, with my knowledge as a dietitian, was tracking everything in MyFitnessPal. So that means it was tracking calories, grams of fat, protein, carb, but I was mostly just tracking calories, because even we can get really nitty gritty with macros, but calories are king when it comes to weight loss or weight gain. So I was really focusing on calories, but also keeping, carbs in moderation. But I wasn't really focusing on a certain percentage of ratios for carbs, fat, and protein. So just really focusing on calories. I was feeling good. I was in my goal. I was stepping on the scale every morning, and it was reflecting my goal pretty well. However, I knew it wasn't inaccurate, but my brain was still telling me the scale's going down, you're doing awesome, whatever you're doing, it's working. Even though in my head, I know that losing a pound in a day isn't realistic. That pound is not a pound of fat. A pound of fat is 3,500 calories. So I know that if the scale goes down a pound, I'm losing a pound of some fluid in my body. So it's likely a reflection of, well, I'm eating less carbs now because I'm being much more aware and I'm tracking and I'm making a big effort. So it's holding on to a lot less fluid. There's less carb there. I could have had gone to the bathroom more. I could have been drinking more water. So my body was more readily okay with getting rid of extra water, which sounds a little counterintuitive. But when your body's really well hydrated, it's not going to retain any water. So I could have lost fluid that way. There's just so many reasons for fluid coming and leaving our body. However, I still saw the scale going down and I still got excited. So I feel like no matter how much knowledge we can have, we still get caught up in numbers on the scale, and it's very frustrating. So I would say for a solid week, every morning, the scale was going down. I was feeling good. But then I feel like life just happens. There's a point where it's not realistic anymore. I didn't feel like counting everything in MyFitnessPal anymore. I didn't feel like spending probably a couple hours every day having to track everything, because you have to search it all. You have to consciously think, okay, what am I going to eat to stay in this calorie restriction? And you're constantly thinking, well, I'm actually kind of hungry, but you're ignoring those signals because you want to stay in this calorie range. All these things. It takes up so much mental space that I was getting really tired of it. And it was only like a week in. So then you struggle with, well, do I stick with it? Do I fight through it? Like, how worth it is this? Like, am I gonna just stick with it, get to the goal weight in my mind, and then everything's gonna be better? Like, what's the goal here? Because whatever I'm doing right now, I already know it's not sustainable, but I still like want to see if I can do it for some reason. It's super conflicting, and it's like this mental battle. So long story short, I ended up getting a minor little illness, little hiccup, nothing like coronavirus, but So then that illness really messed with my appetite, the foods that I was craving. I didn't really want vegetables anymore. All I wanted was carbs. I wanted bread, chips, things that were salty, things that were easy to digest. And I knew that I had to honor those cravings. I was sick. I wasn't feeling good. I'm not going to shove vegetables down my throat because I know it's going to help with a weight loss goal. At that point, when you're not feeling well, the number on the scale doesn't matter. You just want to feel better. So in all honesty, you can't do MyFitnessPal all the time because what happens when you get sick? What happens when you travel? Like, what a headache to have to count that all the time. I don't know. I just think of all these obstacles, like going to a party with family and friends. You don't want to have to worry about counting those things. It's just not realistic. And I know those things going in, but I thought that, with the 3-week little block, staying at home, I had the most control I could ever have because I'm not going to have to go out. I'm not going to travel. I can really pinpoint on my intake. But then, okay, let's say I get to the goal weight in the end. It's 3 weeks later or however long. And then what? It's not a sustainable environment. Like, we know this isn't going to last forever. So what happens when I go back out to regular life, when I may be more active, I'm not home as much, so my appetite goes up, my intake probably goes up. What happens when I start to travel and parties and holidays again? Like, your weight's just not going to reflect that and stay the same. And we're not supposed to stay the same. Our body is a fluid being. We're naturally meant to lose and gain weight on the hour. That's just who we are. We're never going to be a static number on the scale. And the fact that we often reflect our worth based off a digital little screen or a plastic screen infuriates me. And I'm honestly venting that I fell for this trap again. So if this story resonates with you, let me know in the comment. But I just want you to know you're definitely not alone for feeling pressures to stay a certain size. I want you to know it's okay to feel the pressures of diet culture, to maybe fall for the fad diet and follow it, and then it doesn't work again. And it's not you, it's the diet. It's not a sustainable approach. So just know that you're not alone in these struggles. It's okay to not be completely in love with your body all the time, but I do want to encourage you to always respect it. Our bodies are amazing, and the fact that they let us do everything we do in a day, simple, like the little things like going to the grocery store or being able to play with our friends and family, or even the big things like running a marathon or, really great physical things. So from small to big, just respecting the crap out of our body is important, but you don't have to love it every day because we can feel frustrated. We're never going to escape this pressure of diet culture. So to expect us to automatically be in love with our body every day isn't realistic. If you can be to a point someday where you are in love with your body, that's so amazing. And we should all strive to be at that point, but it's okay to not be at that place every single day because I know I'm not at that point. And that's okay. But I do know that I really respect my body. I really respect that it's healthy, that it lets me do everything I want to do. And that's all that really matters. Other aesthetic things, like we can have aesthetic goals, maybe to have like more muscle tone or have physical goals, like being able to run so far or lift so much. Those are really great goals, but we have to like find the balance between our mental health and physical health. So just a friendly, encouraging reminder. Just wanted to share my story in case you're like, yes, girl, I totally resonate with this. Or just to know that even as a registered dietitian, I do not have it all figured out. I still feel the pressures. I fall for the diet traps still sometimes, even though that's like my life motto is don't diet. I still fall for it sometimes. So just a reminder for us all, it's okay if we do fall for it, but to just come back to knowing that it's sustainable approach that's going to work long term. If you want to figure out what does that mean for me, how can I find a sustainable approach that's going to last me forever to get you to a goal that's going to actually stick around, let us know. We're here for that reason. That's what we're all about at Enlightened Nutrition. Our inboxes are always open: Facebook, Instagram, email, text, any form of communication. We're always here for you. Even if you just want to chat, you don't want to sign up for anything, no pressure at all. All right, thanks for listening to my rant and my story, and know that we're always here for you. And all right, thanks for listening to my story, my little rant, and know that we're always here for you.